Facebook and YouTube.
All right, cool.
In good position here.
Yeah, you got another camera on me, James?
You told me to do one camera.
Yeah,
only.
but on me though. So like you got that on me. So like, if I drop any good bombs, you got it like for a reel. Jesus.
No, we don't need. We don't need two cameras.
Get closer in. Get closer in here. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
cut it.
We're live. We're live and
We're
everything.
live everywhere.
All right, guys. So today I have a special guest, Michael Cardone, commercial real estate guy, not a hair guy, but Mike's a great friend of mine. We've been friends for years, and we've just been talking about like social media, how he should really. Well, for years now, I've been telling him to show up on social media for his brand, and now he's like, "Hey, I think I might start a podcast." But it's beyond just starting a podcast. It's like showing up every day, creating a content, proving yourself, proving you're an authority on the thing that you do. So it doesn't matter if you're doing eyebrows, haircuts, if you're doing real estate, commercial real estate, if you sell widgets or microphones for podcasts, it does not matter. You have to position yourself as the best in the world and get enough attention on you around that thing, and then you'll find clients or you'll sell the widget. It doesn't matter. So, Mike, take me through like a little bit about your process right now for social media.
So as Nick said, just starting to get into it. The process for me, it's fairly simple and small right now. It's literally just LinkedIn, posting 3 times a week, specifically just about my product type. So real quickly, what I do is single tenant deals. It's real estate. It's real specific. That's all I talk about. I don't talk about office buildings. I don't talk about industrial buildings. I just talk about the product type that I'm in.
Cool.
And I'm posting 3 times a week.
Good. For my niche audience, if you just do extensions, guess what? This is exact. Just take out real estate and put in hair extensions. If you do eyebrows, take out real estate, put in eyebrows. But all right, so LinkedIn 3 times a week. Do you think it's enough?
No.
Okay.
For right now, it's as you mentioned, I haven't done anything for 10 years. So literally this January is when I started.
So have you been consistent with the 3 days?
Yes, 100%.
All right, perfect. What needs to be true about your timing in your life so you can be consistent 5 days a week?
In what sense you're saying?
So like you're only doing 3. Why not 5? Why not 6? Why not 7?
I think so. I'm at the point where I should be multiple times a day and definitely 5 days during the week.
Okay.
And then the weekends, I started with the 3 and now I just need to stop being a little baby and take the next step.
You can say bitch on my show.
I can say bitch.
Let's
Stop being a little bitch.
Yeah. So here's the deal. You're looking at this from the perspective of how does Mike do more?
Yeah.
No. Who does Mike need to get around him?
Yes.
So it looks like Mike's doing more. That's what needs to happen first. So you know the content. You know the content really, really well in regards to your niche.
Yeah.
What I would say for you to do is get your iPhone out when you're in the car, because you probably listen to podcasts and audios and you're learning. Once you like jump into 20 minutes of some kind of podcast or audiobook, you're kind of fired up, right? You got like an epiphany. You're thinking a cool thought. Go to your memos on your phone and just ramble, right? Just spit out everything you have to spit out. Then you use either ChatGPT or some kind of AI to translate that into written text, and then that text can be put onto the LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
Now, are you doing any kind of AI right now?
I am. So to the extent of what you just mentioned, I am actually doing the voice memos.
Good.
I am taking that and then putting it into chat to kind of just put it back into my own words, give me a better LinkedIn post. And it does help. And I still edit it a little bit.
Of course, yeah, you can.
And that was a game changer because the first month and a half, 2 months, I've been doing it for 3 months. It was all me literally writing on the bus on the way into work, writing this all out. And I'm not a very good writer.
Yeah.
And it took me forever. And then I'd have to turn it into a LinkedIn post. And it was taking up way too much time.
Yeah.
So now I've definitely narrowed it down. But to your point, I'm just doing LinkedIn. I'm only doing 3 days a week, right? I could do way more.
So what's the most valuable commodity in the world right now? Do you know what it is?
Time?
Nope.
Tell
I
me.
don't say commodity, but the most valuable asset a person could garnish or garner, whatever. James, what's the word? Garnish, garner?
Garner.
The most valuable thing a person can garner. It's attention.
Attention.
So if you're only getting the attention of people who are on LinkedIn 3 times a week, literally you're missing the boat on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Like you got to do all of them. I would say Instagram or TikTok, definitely 100% YouTube.
Yep.
And then the type of content you're going to create is, I don't know the first thing about commercial real estate. So you can start, what I would personally do is start a 7-video series on YouTube. And it would be from knowing nothing about investing in commercial real estate to being a master investor, knowing everything from
Yeah.
your financials to how to get a mortgage for it, to where to put your money, how to capitalize on life insurance and invest that.
So you're saying do a beginner one and an advanced
I
one,
would do
or
a
just
a
start?
7-video series, taking someone who doesn't know you through a journey.
I got
And I would
you.
do that probably on YouTube for your first initial 7
Yeah.
videos.
So I have no videos out there. I've just everything's been text so far, just post,
Yeah, and
no
here's the thing.
videos.
You don't really know somebody until you see them.
Yeah.
Right? And here's a fun fact for anyone watching right now. When a person sees you on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or whatever platform like the one we're on right now, there's a psychological connection between that person being more knowledgeable.
Okay.
You're obviously on video, you can
Yeah.
hear it a little better, but almost like a celebrity. Like it's almost like you're more authoritative because I'm watching you, and I'm comparing that to like someone on TV almost. So that connection's being made in our mind, and it's been scientifically proven that when you take when they study them and they see a celebrity on TV, like they're not a celebrity, a reality TV person. They're not.
They're
But
just,
people think of them out as, but you now have the ability to use social media, and you could become the expert on real estate.
That's interesting you say that with hearing it. So I do the voice memos in the morning.
Yep, I'm listening.
I listen to them as soon as I literally do it for about 2 minutes, which is to me it's long enough. 2 minutes, say what I have to say, then I listen to it, and I like what I hear. Right? It's like, oh, you like what you hear, and then you try to put that into words that somebody's reading. It comes across like pretty much how I want, but you hear in somebody's voice, you can you got like the
voice
ooh,
inflection.
like you know what I mean? And there's
cool. I'm gonna give you a good exercise. Anyone watching right now, listen to this exercise. I posted it like 3 weeks ago on my Instagram. I might have told you this before, but I want to give it again to anyone watching live. For first-time people performing, for producing content online, one of the things I want everyone to try is get your phone out, start making content. Right, film it, do the whole thing, speak about the thing that you know better than anyone else in the world. Don't watch it, don't listen to it. What I want you to do is wait a day, let it sit. So you kind of like let 24 hours go by. Then take that video out, hit play, put your phone upside down, listen to yourself. Listen to the listen to like your voice inflection, listen to your tone. Do you stutter? Do you stumble on your words? Do you sound like you know what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Next, turn the volume all the way down, look at your video, and then watch yourself. How do you speak? How's your mannerisms? How's your facial expression?
Yeah.
Are you passionate? Like, am I delivering the physical authority with my gestures and my face?
Yeah.
Then what you do is you print out your transcript and you read it. You take a look at how many times you say you highlight all the filler words that just don't belong in there. And by doing that and you practice that day after day, you will become an expert communicator. So a lot of people don't understand the power, like you just said now about having video. When you look at somebody, you see their passion in their face, the authority, you could tell right away.
You
feel it. And so sound is one thing. Having the sound plus the physical seeing someone's face is immeasurable. The authority you're going to command from doing that.
Yeah, no, it's some of the, and again, I'm a beginner, right? It's like I'm just doing like literally written.
But you're not a beginner.
Okay.
How long have you been doing sales for?
20 years. You're literally like, and that's the thing. I need to take this to my advantage, right? I've seen market changes. I've seen a lot of stuff happen.
You're not a beginner,
right?
You might think you're a beginner at creating content, but you've been speaking on the phone to people for 20 years nonstop.
That's a great point.
And you've been selling in person. The only thing that you have to get your head wrapped around is the fact that creating content is different than me selling someone on the phone or speaking about something I know about to a person. It's not. You have to take a look at your phone or when you're recording a video.
So you're saying it's not any different.
It's no different.
Same thing.
Have a particular person, have someone that you're trying to sell real estate to, have somebody you're trying to sell extensions to in your mind. So when you create that content, you're speaking directly to one individual.
Okay.
Not the masses. It is a one-to-many form, right? Because a million people can see that video and might call you for a property.
Yep.
But have one person in your mind who needs to hear that message in your life that you know personally. And because it becomes so direct and impactful that one person watching that particular content is going to hit them home. But not just that person. Every person who is dealing or in that person's shoes is going to feel like you're talking to them because you are. Right? Everyone, how many times have you thought of an idea and all of a sudden, like 2 years later, it pops up? Someone had the idea and they made it. They created the thing. Or you have an idea and your friend's like, I'm going to do this. Like it happens all the time. And that just gets to like the metaphorical beliefs that I have. Like we're all connected through one source and, you know, ideas are energy. So are thoughts.
Sure.
So I want you to really think about who's the person that is in my sales funnel, if you want to call it that, that really needs to hear this message because they're struggling at maybe putting together the funds for an investment property, or they're dealing with an issue with their property right now. They're dragging their feet because of what happened in the past. Let's create content around that.
Yeah.
And then that way, the person watching it, this is the beautiful thing about having videos like this and LinkedIn is the sales rebuttals you answer in your content. So when you get the person on the phone, you already solved the rebuttal.
Sure.
There's no need to even have a fucking sales conversation. They're in. So it solves so much friction on the back end of a communication because the front end of all your content solved everything.
Yeah. One thing that I've, it's a great point what you're saying. One thing that I have been doing, which was helpful for me, and again, and just as far as posting stuff, still in the infancy stage of that, is that something happens at work, right? So we manage guys. I see guys, walking in and out of the bathroom. You talk to guys. Somebody says something. Literally the next morning when I'm recording something, I'm talking about that situation, not naming their name directly, but that's the situation. And I had somebody come up to me at work the other day. We're like, "Were you talking about me in your post?" I swear it wasn't him, but it was a guy that he works with. And that's just where I'm getting my stuff from. So like, to your point, I'm talking specifically about somebody else that's in. Sometimes I'm talking about I'm not just talking to prospects. I'm talking about guys that are in my position. Sales team that are just starting off. Like, this is what I went through.
Love this. So owners out there watching right now, I want you to understand what I'm about to say to Mike. And I say it all the time. I'm going to stop saying that because I say shit all the time. Who are your clients? I know we talked about this probably before. Who are your clients?
Just then my avatar of a client, like what they're like.
Yeah. Who are your clients? You have two of them. You know that, right?
People that are going to buy properties or people that want to work for me?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
You nailed it. Beautiful.
I don't think you actually told me that one either.
No. So when you're creating content, don't forget that people in the real estate industry, just like people in the hair industry, are going to watch your content and be like, "Oh my God, I like this guy. Like, you know what? My boss sucks. I'm going to go work for him."
Yep.
Like, so, and you have to take care of your sales guys like they're your clients as well. Give them the skills, give them the coaching, give them the education in sales. How do they deal with certain stresses going on in life? How do they not let that affect them at work? Because both of us been through a lot of shit in our life, and both of us older fathers dealing with that, not letting it affect us at work. Like, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that I don't let anybody in on.
Sure.
Because I have to be the captain for my team. I'm sailing the ship. And so if they lose respect in me, or they lose what's the word I'm thinking of? Confidence in me, like, they're going to jump ship. So you have to always keep the confidence of your team in the utmost. But that's exactly what you should be doing. Now, on a video side of things, we're going to make things a lot easier for you. So have you done Notebook LM yet?
I have not.
No? All right. So anyone out there?
I don't think I even know what it is.
All right, cool. James, and I'm sharing my screen, right? So we can. All right. So we're going to go present. We're going to go share screen.
So really, like, you can answer this question, right? It's like, I feel like video's not utilized. Like obviously I'm not utilizing it, but I feel like a lot of people aren't utilizing it, right? I feel like it's like,
who is the most popular real estate guy in the world right now?
Grant Cardone.
Other than Grant Cardone. He's in New York.
Ryan
Serhant.
Yeah.
Crushes it.
Crushes it.
He probably will pass Grant Cardone eventually.
Yeah.
Because he started younger. Grant started when he was older.
Yeah.
Grant's a beast, but I mean, there's some shit going around about Grant right now. I'm not going to get into that, but
Ryan's more of like what I do. To Grant's it's a different. We're not getting into it.
Things,
like he's just Ryan does what I do, but he's on the residential side, right? And he's got the same. Like, I'm looking to scale. That's what he's doing right now. Essentially, he's scaling.
He's
like
also
crazy.
in Jersey now.
He's everywhere. I think he's open in Arizona. They're everywhere.
So, guys, I'm going to give you an example of. So, I'm just going to go real estate, Mike. Give me, what would somebody search for if they had a question?
About for my plug, what is a triple net lease?
Perfect. Cool. I got this guy. You know this guy?
This guy pops. I don't know, but I started searching to see who else is out there. So I see this guy popping up.
Guess what? Tyler's got 73,000 subscribers. Imagine 10% of them hit him up for properties. That's 7,000 people.
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
Great.
Inbound too, not even outbound. Yeah. So I'm going to take his video. I didn't watch it, so it may suck, but I go to Notebook LM. We're going to go to create new.
This is paid or is this free?
It's free. It's all free. I'm going to go YouTube. We're going to go boom, hit that right there. right, we're going to generate. Let's generate a briefing doc, a study guide. Doesn't really matter. Timeline. So now Notebook LM, the AI is generating. It might be a minute or two longer because we're streaming live right now. But what this does is it takes the video on YouTube, transcribes it. So you're going to have the transcription here. But then it gives you an FAQ section, a study guide, a briefing doc, a timeline, all of that. This is one of the methods I teach in my program. And this is how I get salon owners to create content like at scale. So this is like a quick little peek of exactly what I'll show.
So you're saying, yeah, this is transferable. So it doesn't matter if you're selling
anything.
It's literally
Water
anything.
bottles. It does not matter. So let's see what's going on here. All right. Got the transcript. Cool. I'm going to create the briefing doc. Here's where it gets really fun because now email marketing. Do you harness email at all?
No, I should not. No,
Okay.
no. Answer is
You
no.
don't need to. Have a VA somewhere in the world at $5 an hour.
Yep.
Take all the best videos on YouTube, transcribe them with this particular service right here, Notebook LM. Take this over here to ChatGPT. Let's get this. We can create a blog. We can create an email. We can create everything we need from this one document that Mr. whatever his name is over here. What's his name? I don't know.
Tyler, I think.
Tyler. Yeah, Tyler created for us. Now let's go to ChatGPT. Say, create me a LinkedIn. How you spell LinkedIn?
EDIN.
That's good enough for me. Post from this. Okay. We could do blogs. We could do any kind of email series. So now, James, I'm still sharing, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. Here's a posh LinkedIn post to attract readers interested in real estate. Here's your LinkedIn post. Done.
It's amazing.
Done. Now let's do this. Let's go back to Notebook LM. Let's have a blog on your website somewhere, right? Let me get out of here. Shrink that down. FAQs. So you can have an FAQ section on your website off of all the frequently asked questions from all the top performing YouTube videos on your website. So when a person comes to you for real estate, bro, they put in any kind of question
Yep.
that you can build out through ChatGPT based off of the FAQ section
On our site.
on your site, based off every single video that's popular on YouTube. You guys look like the hero. All done for you with someone helping you out as a virtual assistant. So what exactly is a triple net lease? And it gives you the answer. What's the primary advantage? So this is all content.
Yep.
Hey guys, I'm going to answer the top 8 questions anyone has about triple net leases right now. Boom, there's your hook. And you jump right into all these Q&As.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that I forget is because I've been doing this for a long time is that a lot of people don't know what it is, right? Even though they have a lot of money, they come to you, you think they know all the terminology, they know all this, and you're talking to them, but they really don't know, right?
No.
And some people are afraid to talk to somebody because they're like, I don't want to call him up because
I don't want to get pitched to say, I don't want to talk to anyone, right?
yeah, and he's like, he knows too much. He's gonna be too,
Yeah.
but really, if you have all the answers for you right here, it's on the site. And these are like some of these questions are very, very simple.
Yeah. So that was just Notebook LM. That was a quick little peek at the shit we're capable of with AI. James, I'm done sharing, right?
I can end it yet.
No. I'm done sharing my screen.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
it's off.
All right. So if you are an extension artist or you're a colorist or you're a hair cutter, this all applies to you as well. I know my area of genius is hair, obviously, barbering, all that shit that we do in the beauty industry. But I wanted to show you that business is business. So when you think like an artist, like you're limited by your capabilities. When you start thinking like an entrepreneur, the world literally is your oyster. So it's important that you could learn from any arena, whether it's a real estate arena, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's hair, it doesn't matter. All this shit's the same. So if you have on your website all the frequently asked questions that everyone would have about hair extensions, from hand tie to K-tip to weft to beaded to like there's so much involved in that. You could create a customer journey. You could create that video series on YouTube from not knowing anything about hair extensions. Clip-ins you start with, then you go to hand tied, whatever they are. It's 100% possible. And so for Mike here, we're going to kind of break down a schedule. Have you ever used Upwork before?
I have.
You have?
Yeah. So
How
we're
did it
using,
work out for you?
it worked out well. So we have guys like database for us.
Okay.
But that was like really the extent. Like they're doing like back end, like data
Okay.
entry work for us.
So I'm not going to share my screen again, but Mike, here's my Upwork. Here's my people I communicate with. Actually, you know what?
So you have a whole
Let
team.
me share my screen with everyone. Screw it.
That's a big team.
Yeah, I'm going to share it again.
Yeah. We literally have one guy.
So you guys want to learn how to really dominate your business and your area, your community, I mean, in your area. So here's a quick peek at who I communicate with. on a given basis.
This is all through Upwork. Or this
These,
is all.
these are all people I got from Upwork or I hired privately through Instagram who reached out to me. So virtual assistant handles the front desk. My ace virtual assistant right here, she's the best. She builds out Shopify stores with me. Then she has a team of virtual assistants that I hire.
Sure.
She has somewhere. And so if you want to take a look at our command center, this is called Basecamp. This is one of the softwares that I use. But
So these are almost like all like mini bosses, and then they have their own team with them.
I build up. So what I do is like James is doing it right now. So here's my command center for the Shopify stores that I build out and help people with. Now, James, the producer of the podcast, he is editing a lot of our videos. We hired another team out of Kenya to do the heavy lifting for him.
Sure.
He inspects what we expect now as a business, because me and him work together for long enough. He understands what I need. Now I brought on Sophia from our Florida location to take over our virtual front desk and our social media editing. So she can't edit as strong as some of the guys in Kenya do. So they take the heavy lifting, edit it down. They also take some of my stuff and edit it down. Then James passes it off to her to edit, and he takes my other stuff and posts it on Social Pilot, which then puts out all of my salons, and which could be all your sales guys.
Yep.
Right. And puts out my personal stuff for the coaching business all in one platform.
Yeah.
That's all done through Basecamp. So for you, like, what's the most important thing for you is to duplicate yourself to buy back your time.
Yep.
You have to lead the way. So once you teach people how to create content and the LinkedIn, all that shit that you're doing, what do you do next? You take your top 3 sales guys and you teach them how to do it. And then in return, they're going to get busier. So then you create this media company of, imagine you had 50 sales guys that were as charismatic as Ryan Serhant, and everyone's getting inbound leads. Guys, you wouldn't need dialers anymore.
No.
Because you have an influx of people. And then every
And
person.
that's not to cut you off, but that's what
Yeah.
you want. Like, it's for our business. I'm sure the same way with you. There's certain
Yeah.
things like you don't like doing. For us, there's a couple of people out there that like cold calling people, but for the most part, that's the part of our business that it generates the leads, but it's not fun doing, right?
Yeah.
So if you can get people, like you said before, to the inbound calls is what you want. You
That's
know?
100. It's a warm lead.
Yeah.
They already trusted you. So I forget, James looks this up. There's a study that says people have to watch X amount of hours of you to be able to trust you. It could be 17 hours. It could be 14. I don't know. I think 7 hours. So just think about, if you make bingeable content, right? Like Cody Sanchez, you know who she is?
I don't.
All right. She does like the boring business. She's big into like laundromats, car washes, storage units, real estate stuff, like passive income. You could go on her YouTube channel and binge it. Alex Ramosi.
Yep.
Binge his channel. Gary Vaynerchuk, you binge his channel. And so when they come out with something to buy, you trust them.
Sure.
You know, that's the importance of it. So if you have bingeable content, if I'm in the market, I want to learn about commercial real estate, I'm going to go right to Mike.
Yeah.
Who does this really well? What's his name? He wrote Entre Leadership. James, who's the financial guru guy?
Financial guru?
Yeah, Ramsey. Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah. Podcast, books.
Oh, he has a school. He has everything.
Everything.
No, he has everything.
So why not you? Right? Teaching people how to be better with their money.
Yep.
Commercial, how to invest. Like, so it all starts there. He has a huge funnel of like from not knowing what to do with your money to graduating up through the process. But that comes off the back of his radio show. That's what he did well back in the day. He had a radio show. And so now we have YouTube, we have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, you have podcast platforms. It's so easy to do this. So let's
ask you a question real quickly.
Yeah, ask me.
So what somebody in my position just told you background, how I started on social media. What's the next logical step? What's like, all right, you did LinkedIn, like you said.
I say Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, it's more mature platform. Facebook is great too. Instagram, you have more ability to message people who follow you and engage with your followers.
Okay.
But it's still bingeable when you scroll. TikTok doesn't convert, I feel, as well. TikTok's great for going viral on that platform. I feel unless you're selling something on TikTok, like TikTok Shop and things like that, I would just take your content and repurpose it on TikTok and leave it alone. So I would go Instagram, YouTube, 100% YouTube, and do professional.
Okay.
Right. For YouTube, I'd rather see you do quality over quantity. Honestly, take like your long form content, dice that up into your shorts, put that on YouTube. also repurpose them for your reels. But when it comes to Instagram, take them through the journey of what Mike does on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
You get coffee, you do this, you talk to your work. Like, who is Mike? Because if I'm going to invest $200 million in a series of properties with you in my firm, I don't even know what the prices are for things, but probably $10 million, right, for some properties.
Yeah,
$5 million,
you're in that range, like
two.
it's like $2 to $10 million
All right, so
average for us.
I need to trust you. I need to like, hey, who's this guy, Mike?
Yep.
And if I've already watched your stuff on LinkedIn, I follow you on Instagram, I trust Mike. Here's the cool thing: if Mike reaches out to me for following him, here's part two. Someone follows you off a piece of content. You could run it as an ad or whatever. Hey, Dave, send. Thanks for following. Send. Hey, are you following for the real estate tips, or you're looking to invest into a property? Done. Guess what happens?
Sure.
Oh, real estate tips. Awesome. I go live every day at 12. If you want to watch, let me know any topics you want to see me speak about. End the conversation. They'll keep it going, right? I'm looking to invest in real estate. Perfect. XYZ market.
Yep.
What are you looking to invest in? Are you in right now? Do you own your properties now? And you take the conversation through a journey. And guess what? You didn't cold anybody. And you can do that at scale.
Yeah.
You could talk to 100 people plus a day.
Well, the thing for us too is like, maybe our business is a little bit different. I don't need 1,000 clients, right? If I have 15 good clients, like that's really all you need. Obviously, you got to get to that point to have 15 good clients, but you don't need a ton of
ticket.
Exactly. We're high ticket items. So it's, just getting that one person from doing something, essentially it's for free, right? You have access to all these platforms and it's all free, right? It's like,
is there a person that could run all this data through like an AI or something to collect it all and then repurpose it into like a database on your website? They get access to it.
Yeah, there's definitely a way to do that.
So if I'm going to, like a search engine, almost like make your website the search engine for properties for people. You give them I honestly, know what I would do? I would do a free course on YouTube. I would also have it live on your website. I would pair that up with a blog and a newsletter that went out, but an educational newsletter, not some bullshit. Like it's like the Mosey Minute.
Sure.
Mosey does, or the Marabella Minute, or who does that? The Maxwell Minute, some shit like that, where you drop a valuable tip every day, every single day. So it's not long. It's like maybe like a 3 or 4 minute read, but people look forward to it.
Sure.
That's 100% doable with AI. And then I would have that whole entire ecosystem. So you are like a search engine for anything and everything when it comes to real estate. And now what you do, like I said before, you just duplicate yourself. And so now you're repurposing your team's content to get out there on YouTube. That's how I would do it.
What are your thoughts on, and again, I typically keep it's all about real estate.
Yeah.
Obviously you have to have some personality in there too, right? I'm not trying to talk politics, but I do like to, like you and I've known you for a long time. We think alike. We're a little bit outside the box, right? We're not like standard, thinkers. And it's like you try to incorporate that a little bit, but not too much, because I'm not trying to win you over that way. I'm just trying to I'm trying to advise you, right?
You want to make connection points for people.
Yes.
As well. So you have to make factual connection points when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to your personal brand, Mike, if you like going to the gym, show yourself in the gym every now and then.
Yeah. I think that's what
show your diet.
I'm like,
because
I'm very hesitant of like, but I haven't done like anything. I haven't talked about anything personally yet, like what I do outside of work, or it's really just been strictly business so far.
If I'm an older father too, and I see Mike as an older dad, and Mike is in the real estate world, that's a connection point. Oh my God, like my kid's 2 years old too. Like, oh my God, sleepless nights. Those are conversation pieces. You're leaving so many people out of your life, which is opportunities for you to make a sale. The games change. Years ago, we were told to separate the business and the personal life. Nope.
Not anymore.
You can't.
Yeah.
Who you are is who you are. And you're so Ryan Serhant right now, I'm going to use him as an example again. Bravo, all the TV shows,
everything.
All that's personal brand. If he comes out with a skincare line,
people are buying it.
No shit. He's got great skin.
I'll buy it.
Right? He comes out with a suit.
Doing it.
People are buying
Let's do it.
Right. Personal brand. Kylie Jenner she's not a makeup artist.
Yep.
She has $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Ryan's Toys. You know who that kid is?
Wow.
He's a little boy who played with toys. His mom used to film him when he was a kid. He's 12 years old now. He's worth James, how much?
$100 million.
$100 million.
Yeah.
Personal brand. He's got a deal at Walmart or something right now. It's insane. So personal brand.
Reviews kids' toys. It's wild.
So you have to position yourself like as a personal brand to make connection points with people. Obviously, you have your niche. You're going to stay in your zone of genius, they're going to call it. But like, who's Mike? I want to know about Mike.
So you think, I think you kind of touched on this.
Yeah.
So like, obviously LinkedIn's a lot more professional, right? There's like people's like CEOs of companies. You can get somewhat personal on there, but maybe like is
Instagram's at home for that, right?
that's like where you get
LinkedIn, you still want to show some of your personality.
not Twitter. You didn't mention Twitter yet, but I feel like Twitter, at least from what I'm seeing in the real estate world, Twitter's gotten actually big for people.
Yeah, then do it. Use Twitter.
I haven't done it, but I see other people doing it.
Twitter's a great place to drop your ideas.
Yes, like a one-liner kind of.
One-liners,
right?
yeah. Like think little haikus or little, like if you could condense your newsletter down to like 1 or 2 sentences that could fit into a tweet.
Yeah.
But then you go back and forth. Twitter's a great place to communicate. I'm not big on Twitter.
Okay.
I never really was. It doesn't convert from my
for what you're looking for.
What I'm looking for as well. I mean, for personal brand, it does. Like it did great for Gary Vee when it came to wine.
Yeah.
But if you feel like the real estate market's on there, because that's where more executives kind of live. To me, it's like a battleground for politics and debating. And then I'll just get caught up in that conversation and want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm very combative in certain ways. So I just I try to avoid
just a little
situations that I don't shy away from a confrontation.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm gonna have to deal with confrontation because then I have some discipline, but I have no problem like just trolling somebody for 3 days all day long and messing with them. But so to me, Twitter's just not beneficial. I can't showcase my work. I can't tweet my passion about what I do. Like I'm sure the passion's coming out about this in this podcast on this medium because I love this shit.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this to you. I mean, 10 years now, probably more than that.
Yeah, it's like 10 years. You probably been hard on it for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So it took me.
But imagine you did this 10 years
I know.
ago.
No, and I think about I try not to think about it, right? Because it is what it is. You're not changing the past. But the fact that I've started, I'm still the big belief. There's still time for you to get into the game. I don't know when it's gonna change, but there's still time. I feel like I'm ahead. There's people again. There's guys that do this all across the country. Those are the guys that are bigger. There's nobody in my office really. Nobody that doing what I'm like doing specifically around me. That's on social media. And at first I was kind of like, oh shit, I'm gonna do this, and then I did it, and I was just very surprised at the people that came up to me like, oh Cardone, I like that post. That was cool. I saw that. That was cool. It's like, and then you're like, all right, this is awesome.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you said
everybody's looking. I was doing the same thing. I was just scrolling through looking, never I wouldn't even comment or like on anything.
Yeah.
And now I know that people.
You're one of those?
I am. I was one of those. But those people, they're seeing it, right? He came up to me. He didn't like anything, but he said something to me in the office. Hey, I like that. That was cool. Keep doing it. I like that. I tried doing AI pictures in there.
So he liked that. Everyone listening right now, people move in silence now. The like and the share, like people are watching your content and they love it, but they're just not showing any interest because we're so inundated, right? We go through a scroll, we watch it, just to like things. Unless you have a call to action. Hey guys, do me a favor, like this post. That definitely works.
You know what the fun is? So I do that. So somebody had told me to do that. And again, I get like no comments. So it is like kind of like it's a punch in the gut, but I just keep doing it. I'm like, all right, I don't care. It's like they don't care either. They're like, all right, they're just going to the next one. They saw my post and they go to the next one.
Like you have to understand, like this is how it's gonna work. People are saying, oh Mike, I love that post. Then what's gonna happen is no one's gonna say shit to you. Because they're gonna be like, who does Mike think he is?
Yeah.
Then it's gonna get to a point where like, oh my God, Mike, like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you help me with my social media?
Yeah.
Like that. I have friends that unblocked me that I did podcasts with here. And like they didn't go as hard as I did. You make people feel uncomfortable when you hit things at a different level.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you've noticed this too in life. Like you are making 50 grand a year, your friends make 50 grand a year, and you guys have fun, right?
Yep.
Your habits and activities are way different. It's let's go get a beer and get drunk and black out and do dumb shit. And then you get to a point where you're making 100 and the friends who make 50, you're like, oh, you're too good for us now. But you can't hang out with them because you got shit to do. You can't be hungover for, and you got nothing in common with them. But then you want to get to the level where you're making $1 million a year, but you can't get around that crowd yet because you're not making $1 million a year. So you really have nothing in common with them. It gets very lonely. And the people who were once your friend are talking shit about you. And here's the magical part. The people making $1 million a year don't care because they don't even notice you.
Yeah.
So you in your head are like, oh, I'm not ready yet for that. But you are ready for them. Once you believe that you are, then you can get around that circle. And once you get around that circle of people, you start hearing the conversations, watching the actions, taking notice of what people are doing, and then you come right to that.
Circle. There's Hermosi says it all the time, where he gets around people and they're like, oh, you've changed. He looks at him, he's like, and you haven't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
love
it's
that.
that thing. It's like, why are you knocking me? Because I've changed. Obviously, if you change for the worse, that's
Yeah.
a different story. But I've changed for the better. I'm doing something that makes me truly happy. Why are you like, almost insulting me by saying I changed when
Yeah.
actually you haven't changed? You stayed the same. At least, I changed. I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
really comfortable now in my bigger house,
Yeah.
my Mercedes, and my broken cell phone that
Yeah.
you still have.
I do.
It's still broken. All right, so let's wrap this up real quick. What questions you have? Like you're dying to know, you want to ask, like anything bothering you about social media you just can't wrap your head around?
I think for me again, like I kind of mentioned, like just like taking the next step and like just getting comfortable, putting the videos out there. I keep hearing videos, and I'm just not doing it. Right? It's like it's like one of those things. Like I just got to start.
So that thing I told you,
I
to
just
take
gotta
the video,
start.
flip it upside down, watch yourself is one. Here's one thing you could do: pay someone to edit the video for you
Yeah.
ahead of time. So pay them a retainer, like, hey, I need you to edit videos for me, X amount per month. I'm going to give them to you, and you have to pay them no matter what. You have a contract with them, so if you don't make videos, you're paying them anyway.
Yeah.
So that might be a kick in the ass. Also, put in your calendar, put a recurring event in your calendar that says film video, 8:00 every day, 9:00 every day. Just do this.
Yep.
Get a camera, go in your office, and go live.
No, this is the first time I've done something like this,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's
This,
fairly simple, right?
This is the setup. So this content right here, normally I'll have a camera there on me, and then this camera on me here. So I'll get a reel because that's that face this
Okay.
way. This is going to be meant for the live and for YouTube. And so I film this every day, like clockwork. Or I try to film it every day. If I have shit going on, I don't. But then James takes it, the long form, puts it on YouTube and podcasts and edits it for short form. And so I got in the habit of just filming every day. Think of how many conversations you have every day.
Tons.
Imagine you had a camera going.
I'm on the phone all the time.
So just
all the
put a
time.
camera on you and film. And I'm sure you drop nuggets like
I do.
so, right? So all these little
Yeah.
beautiful nuggets of information you're dropping on these sales calls and with your team, that's all content you can put out there.
Yeah. Well, even when I'm having meetings with guys in the office, it's sometimes you walk away, you're like, damn, I was on fire right there. I guess that's some good shit.
Yeah.
And then it's just gone. You don't, because
Yeah.
wasn't.
That's why get one of these, like one of these little lavalier mics, mic yourself up and just capture everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And if you look at how Gary did that, the Daily V, or like when he documented his whole life, everyone says document. Sirhan, document. Just document. You have a camera on you all the time. Can you imagine how much
you're gonna get good stuff?
good stuff?
Yeah.
If it's not good, you just fucking delete it. But if I were you, I would just find someone to film you all the time, or at least set a camera
have
up in the
something up.
beginning. Set a camera up in your office so you're
Yeah.
filming all the meetings. At the very least, get a good mic so you can capture it and get the audio of it.
Yep.
If that audio is brilliant, then you could, recreate it somehow, or just as long as it sounds good, people can watch it and learn
Got
from it.
I guess the final question,
Yeah.
the final question is, once you're to that level, like where you're super active,
Mhm.
how many times are you posting a day? I think I should ask you because you're super
Yeah.
active. Like
I post every day.
every day,
Yeah.
multiple times.
Here's the beauty of it, though. When you get to the level of like a Dan Martell, Alex Ramosi, a Gary Vee, a Cody Sanchez, like I name the same names all the time because there's other people out there too. Your YouTube channel, because of your views, you generate an income from that. So now you're getting paid to create content. You become a media company. So you're making 40, 50,000 a month off YouTube ads. And so that's funding your marketing department. So what you should do is just take that 40,000, reinvest it right back into marketing and get better cameras, get better crew, get better editing, and then you'll scale to 100,000. And then you create a studio, and then you just become a content creator. Like here's the hardest thing to wrap your head around. When you get to that level, you're not doing real estate anymore.
Yeah, no,
You're a personality.
So that's the
Yeah,
goal,
yeah.
right? I truly love what I do. I truly enjoy going to work every day. But at the end of the day, I'd rather just be almost like this creator and just managing the whole system, the whole system. Oh, you got a problem? Yeah, I can I'll help you answer the problem.
Owner.
I don't want to go searching for new business anymore.
Here's the issue too. What happens to hairdressers? You're an artist. You're a sales guy, right? You're a real estate guy.
Yep.
You're a sales artist, like artistry and sales, doing hair, tech, whatever it is. You have to completely kill that person, that part of your identity, and step into the entrepreneur.
Yep.
Because when you start making decisions from the perspective of the entrepreneur, your decisions you make are so different, and that's the only way it's going to get you to that level. When you keep thinking like a sales guy or keep thinking like a hairdresser or a barber, you're never making the right decisions for the business or your career or for your vision because it's so close. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's a very closed-minded perspective because you just could only think from the sales guy's perspective or from that hairstylist.
Yeah.
But when you start thinking yourself and putting yourself in the category of Ryan Serhant, Grant Cardone, they're no different than us.
No.
They're just not.
No.
What do they do differently though? Grant Cardone is
market
a
themselves.
beast. He goes live.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they market
he
the
goes
shit out of
live, and
themselves.
3 hours later, he's still live.
Yeah.
It's wild.
No, it's hard to get away from him. Like,
Yeah.
especially with what I do. Obviously, I'm clicking on stuff real estate related.
Yeah.
He is constantly popping up on my phone, on my
Yeah.
everything that I like.
He
It's
sells
coming
events, dude. Like,
up.
think about getting paid on stages now. Now you grew your business, so now it's like, hey, you're getting paid $100,000 a keynote, $50,000 a keynote for an hour to
Yeah.
talk about shit you talk about every day.
Yeah.
How fucking bananas is that? Right? It's just the way of the world right now. And so for anyone who thinks like, oh, that's great for them, but not me. Why not? Why not you? I know it could be you 100%. Anyone watching it could be you, right? You have to believe that it's possible for you because it is. If you were to tell somebody this 50 years ago, hey, you're going to carry around this video camera, texting machine in your pocket that you're going to be able to use AI on, like, what?
Yeah.
You could start $1 billion company with just an iPhone.
Now, the feeling that I've gotten just from doing it for a couple months,
Yeah.
it just made me feel good doing it too, right? If this is what you want to do. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But for me, it was just like the feeling like, all right, I started the process. That was part of it. But then also it feels good doing it. Like you're doing something, you're like, and it's going to work, right? It's like you put the time in. It's like everything else.
If you put the time in, it will work eventually if you don't stop. Because you have to learn from your mistakes. You're going to get better at creating content. You're going to maybe change your niche a little bit. Like you're going to get better. Something will stick eventually. It's going to happen. If you quit, it will never happen. I've done that. Like I started creating content and then I stopped and I started and I stopped and someone made a comment to me and I let it discourage me. So I stopped. Like I'm a hard ass on here, but things hurt too. Like people leave you a nasty comment. Like it fucking bothers you sometimes. And then every now and then you got to think like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
Right. And and even my own family said shit to me. Like my wife made a couple comments to me one time when I first started creating content. We weren't in a great position a couple years ago financially, but because of some bad decisions I made, but I was making money. I just had to pay off debt. And so she's like, well, you're giving us advice. And like, whatever we said, but now she's super supportive of me. But then that kind of hit. Then my sister was breaking my balls. And someone's like, oh, what do you think? You're Tony Robbins? And I'm like, well, no, Tony Robbins is so big. I'm like, who do I think I am?
But at the end of the day, it
doesn't matter.
And they're really no different than you, right? It's like they're just happen to have a bigger audience. They're out there, but he's thinking the same stuff that you're thinking.
Yeah.
He just has a bigger audience. So they hear it first. But they're no different.
Yeah.
They're no different.
I'm sure Tony had to deal with all that stuff.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're probably cooler than some of these guys too. I'm gonna say it. Like
we're definitely a lot more fun to hang out with.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's happened to be like Gary V. Whatever you want to say about him, like he's probably not the coolest guy. Like it's just, but he just did it early, right? And he captured an audience, and it made him It made him like
that's what bothers you most because I knew the same things Gary knew as he was coming onto the scene, and I didn't have the discipline to do it.
He did it. And you got to give the guy so much respect for doing it, right?
And he's been consistent.
Yeah, no,
he's been so consistent and he's been on point with what he said. He's honestly, he's a student of the game.
Yeah, no, he's smart. He knows what.
Have you read his book?
I have not.
Oh, his latest book, James, what's the name of his latest book?
Gary V.
Yeah, it's in my phone. I gotta hop off in 3 minutes, but I'm gonna get it to my Audible.
Let's see.
Anyone who you're looking at
Paying attention.
Day trading attention.
Day trading attention. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Get that book. Get the audio. Listen to it like 1.2, 1.3, or 5, whatever you listen to it on. Blow through it. That is a masterclass on how to create content in 2025. Hands down, the best book on social media content creation today, right now. Just get that book. Cool. All right, guys. I gotta hop off. James, is there one question in the chat we can answer?
No.
All right, cool. All right, so we are going to sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We went in a little different direction today with, bringing Mike in here on real estate, but it's just a fun conversation to have with someone who's new to social media. So if you enjoyed it and you want to learn more about how you can implement these strategies into your salon business, I'm not a real estate guy. DM me the word grow on Instagram or just email me or go to my website, nick@nickmirabella.com. On Instagram, I'm at Nick Mirabella. So just DM me the word grow. If you want real estate or you're in the market for commercial real estate, Mike, how can they find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn and Michael A. Cardone. They can go to our website. It's the pappascardonegroup.com. And all our information's there. Reach out, any real estate questions. And if I'm not the guy for you, I'll direct
What
you.
we will do, I want to talk about real estate on the next segment, what a salon owner needs to do to prepare to buy a piece of property
Sure.
to put their salon in. Cool? All right,
Cool.
that's the
Let's
next
do it.
one. All right,
Appreciate it,
guys,
man.
See you later.